All right, so you're wondering how much it costs to live in Port Orchard, Washington? Well, this video is going to be all about the cost of living right here in Port Orchard, Washington. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ladina Strand. I'm a realtor in Port Orchard, Washington. If this is your first time to my channel and you want to learn everything about working, eating, sleeping, living, and playing, make sure you tap the subscribe button and click the little bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. Now, I get calls, emails, texts every single day. I'm helping them and I absolutely love it. So people, if you're thinking about moving, relocating here to the Western Washington area, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, however you want to get a hold of me. I've got your back when moving to the Western Washington area. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about the cost of living via houses, renting, buying groceries, health insurance, and we're going to compare it to some of the other major cities that are neighbors to us to the east. So let's get started with the elephant in the room. Housing prices are what makes it so much more expensive to live in the Port Orchard, Washington area and the surrounding area compared to when you look at the average of the United States. So currently in the United States, the average house price is right around $230,000. And right here in Port Orchard, we're right around $345,000. Now in a little bit, I'm going to show a map of all the different areas and what it costs per area. Now we're higher than the national average, but when you talk about our neighbors up to the east, Seattle, where the median house price is more than double what it is here in Port Orchard, it definitely keeps things in perspective. Now we have a very strong economy here in Port Orchard due to the Kitsap Naval Base located in Bremerton, which is just north of us, and employs over 25,000 civilians alone. All right, so we talked about owning a house. Now what about renting? Well, renting has actually gone kind of crazy here. A lot of the rental prices are higher than buying, but just to let you know, if you're going to rent a 3-bedroom condo or townhouse or a house here in Port Orchard, in the Port Orchard area, the average price is $1,600 to $1,700 a month, and for a 4-bedroom rental, you're looking closer to $2,000. Now, there's going to be areas you're going to find that are going to be quite a bit cheaper than that, and some that are going to be quite a bit more expensive. All right, so now we've talked about actually getting into a home, whether you're going to buy it or rent it. Now let's talk about the average monthly cost for all of your utilities. Now right now, if you average everything out, it's going to be close to about $130. And that's your water, sewer, and garbage. Now if you want internet right now, the average price is right around $60 a month. It's a little bit higher than the national average, but it's right there. Okay, so you're living in your house, you're paying your monthly payments on your water, sewer, and garbage. How do you get to work? Now, the nice thing about Port Orchard is its location in reference to Bremerton up north with the naval base and traveling south via I-5 to get to bigger cities like Tacoma and Seattle. Now, we have a lot of people like my husband who live in Port Orchard who commute to Seattle, and they have different options for commuting. Now, there is the ferry system that you can catch either in Bremerton or Port Orchard, and with a short ferry ride, you can be in downtown Seattle. Now, the fare for a round-trip ticket is $24.40 per car, one passenger per day. Now, as I shared, my husband does work in Seattle, and he likes to drive around instead of taking the ferry, which means he utilizes the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, which is a toll bridge, and he has what we call the Good to Go Pass. And the fee for that is $5 per day, and you only pay for that going eastbound on Highway 16. Now, we also have some die-hard bicyclists that like to ride their bikes to the ferry. So if that is your thing, that is an option as well. Now, the average here in Port Orchard, the average gas prices are right around typically $3.20 to $3.30 per gallon. Now, I just bought gas at Costco the other day and I paid $2.20 a gallon, but we're also dealing with the COVID-19. So $2.20 a gallon isn't the norm here. So whenever you're watching this, it may change, but just comment below and I'll let you know what it is. Okay, so you work. What do you work for? So you can go out and enjoy the incredible food we have to offer. But let's talk about how much it costs to do an average meal or a couple at a pretty good restaurant. It's going to be right around $20 to $25 per person. The average meal is about $12 to $14, but then you've got your drinks, and we have some pretty good breweries in our areas to enjoy. Now, if you're going to make meals at home, you're going to be going and grabbing groceries. Our food prices and grocery prices are basically even with the United States. Your grocery expenses are going to be basically the same as the national average. All right, so when you're buying things, the sticker price is not the final price unless it's a food item. and we have a sales tax of 9% here on non-food items. But we do not have an income tax like our neighbors do to the south in Oregon. And the last thing I want to cover right now is healthcare. And with healthcare, we sit right at that 100 index. So let's say you work for an employer that does not offer health insurance, or you're working as an entrepreneur or a real estate agent. A low-end amount for a below 40 non-smoker is right around $300 a month, and that will have a deductible of about $6,000. Now for people who have lived here forever, they think that price is astronomical. But if you look at the average, we're right on target with the rest of the country. So you're gonna pay twice as much for rent and to buy a home in Seattle than you will here in Port Orchard. Now I really wanna give you an understanding of the Kitsap area as a whole compared to Seattle to the east of us.
All right, so let's take a quick look at the map here. And first thing I wanna do is start off is talking about the index down here. So again, the average for the US is an index of 100. So if your city is below 100, it's cheaper than the national average. If it's above 100, then it is definitely more expensive than the national average. So you can see Port Orchard here. We're right here in this kind of light purple area. And, it's again, just kind of giving you an idea as a contrast over to the east side of Seattle, Bellevue, Sammamish, Issaquah, etc. And you can see the color contrast. We're talking way, way up here on the price index. So, everything from housing, transportation, food, everything is going to be tremendously more expensive. And that's one reason why our area over here in Western Washington, more importantly, the hyper focus of Kitsap County here, which is all encompassing basically this whole area here, it's just become a very, very popular area. And you got Bremerton, like I said, right to the north of us, where the naval base is located. Bremerton is, again, becoming a very fastly up-and-coming area for industry. You've got Central Kitsap, which consists of Silverdale, which has a fantastic school district. You've got Paulsbo, which is a little farther north. It's a great little town my husband and I lived in for 10 years. We absolutely loved it. You got Seebeck over here, and for many years, people, our locals, I should say, considered Seebeck to be so far out. But honestly, people want to get away from the hustle and bustle, and so Seebeck is growing exponentially. Again, it's becoming a very up-and-coming area. And so as far as commuting, you guys, there is just all kinds of different options as far as getting over to the other side, of Seattle. We've got a lot of people that live in our area that do commute to Seattle, my husband being one of them. So like I said, one of the options is the Bremerton ferry. It has a fast ferry. It will get you into downtown Seattle in 30 minutes. Not too shabby. You also have another ferry that'll take off here from the Port Orchard area. They'll get you into Seattle. And technically, there's another ferry, the Bainbridge Island Ferry, which will also get you into Seattle. But for this, the purpose of this video, I'm focusing more on the South Kitsap area. So you can definitely see the price index, the contrast between west side over here, east side over here. Our area has so much to offer. We have so many great outdoor activities. We've got, boating, fishing, camping, hiking, you name it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful area here in Kitsap County. So I hope this kind of gives you guys a little bit more of an overview and insight into our local area.
But again, reach out to me anytime and I could answer a lot of those questions too. And like I said, I'm a local real estate agent here, and if you have questions, if you're thinking about moving to the Port Orchard or surrounding area, or your job has you moving here, give me a call, reach out to me any way you'd like. I'd love to help you and answer any questions you have and find your ideal place to live. If you know where you're going to be working or where you want to be playing, then I can help you find a house that's really close to that, because there's so many different areas and cities around Port Orchard, and depending on what your needs are will determine the best city for you. Maybe you want a big yard, or maybe new construction, or you need to commute to the big city. There's totally different areas available. So let's find out what you really want to accomplish here in Western Washington and where your job is, and I'll help you find the dream house. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below if you've been to Port Orchard, if you agree, if you disagree. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll answer any questions you have. So I'll be monitoring the comments. So make sure you comment and make sure you click that subscribe button. I do a ton of videos about what the Western Washington area, what it's like to live here, the best neighborhoods, lots of really cool stuff. I'm going to continue to do it. So you want to make sure you click the subscribe button and the little bell so you're notified every time I do a video. And until next time.